Welcome back to Perspectives on Rise News. After defying the odds and flying higher than ever, our Super Falcons touched down on home soil to the roar of a nation brimming with pride. From breathtaking goals to unshakable teamwork, they didn't just win matches, they won hearts across Africa and beyond. But beyond the media and the matches lay a deeper story, one of resilience, sacrifice, and what it means to wear the green and white with honor. They have been welcomed with excitement, celebrated not just by fans, but also recognized by Nigerian breweries, their official sponsors, who played a vital role in honoring their journey and achievements. We join the rest of the country in celebrating our heroines, while also asking the hard questions and reflecting on what this victory means for the future of women's football, natural pride, and the next generation of African athletes. Their resilience has challenged broken systems, their grace has inspired a new generation, and their victory has shown that Nigerian women are a force, not just in sport, but in society. Let's talk. We're heading for a short break, but stay with us because coming up shortly is a detailed focus on Nigeria's all-conquering Super Falcons with my distinguished guests. The one and only Agbabola and former captain of the Super Falcons, Asisat Oshoala, as well as Sandra Amachree of Nigerian breweries. Perspectives will return in just a moment. Welcome back to Perspectives on Rise News. I'm now being joined here on Perspectives for this exciting discourse by Asisat Oshoala, a professional footballer, member of the Nigerian senior women's national football team, the Super Falcons, who also plays as a striker for the National Women's Soccer League club, Bay FC in the United States. Also joining us is Sandra Amachree, Head of Communications and Marketing at Nigerian Breweries PLC, sponsors of the Super Falcons and the Nigerian Football Federation. My great delight to have you both joining me on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm so happy that we managed to get you because I hear a lot of your team members have all gone back. So you are going to answer on behalf of the Super Falcons this morning, and I'm sure you do a fantastic job. But first and foremost, let me first congratulate you for this milestone that you did for us and the beacon of pride you have become to us Nigerians.
Thank you.
Now, walk us through that final whistle, when the whistle now went up and you knew that your team had made history again for Nigeria. How did you feel?
I mean, to be honest with you, when you're playing like that, and then towards the end of the game, you just want the whistle to just go off so you can like celebrate and all of that, you know. And on that particular day, when at the blast of the final whistle, it was more like a big relief for us.
Like a burden had been lifted off your shoulders.
You know, like coming from 2-0 down, having 3 goals in the second half, you just want to be like, you know, even you sometimes you don't believe certain blessings that happens, and just want to celebrate and like enjoy the moment and like celebrate with your teammates and all of that. It just feels like something was taken off our shoulders.
Okay. So now that you now came home to this tumultuous welcome and you were put on the bus, you drove around the streets and people were hailing you and praising you, and all you could see the excitement, the pop, you could feel the beats of the excitement. So what were the touching moments for you whilst you were in that bus driven around?
Honestly speaking, I think that was an amazing experience. For someone like me, I've won the WAFCON 4 times, and that's like probably the...
So this is your fifth win?
The fourth win. Yeah, that's the 4th one for me. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, it's the first time I ever experienced something like this. Having a tour bus, having a lot of people waiting for us at the airport, dignitaries welcoming us and all of that. I think it's really amazing and inspiring as well. You know, when things like this happen, it makes you just want to do more next time. Whenever you're on that global stage, you want to give more because you know what's to come after, you know. And I drove past where I used to play soccer when I was pretty young. Yeah, so when I was there, I was so emotional. When I drove past Marina, I was like, damn, I used to be here every Sundays with my friends and all that, you know. Honestly, it's an amazing experience. And it also kind of like showed that for us, that Nigerians are actually watching. Sometimes you're walking, you don't even know the amount of people that are actually paying attention. Yes. Yeah, so it was amazing. It was good to feel that, and also I know like after that day, there's so many younger generations coming that will be like, yes, even the new players on the team. I told them, I said, you guys are so lucky Because for us, we never experienced something like this. And then now, for them, the first time winning a trophy, having such experience, I think it's also like boost them to like want to have such experience again.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's get to you, Sandra. Now, what made your brand decide to choose women's sports in the first place, especially at the time when it wasn't getting the recognition that it deserves? What made you decide to do that?
I mean, what an inspiring journey the Super Falcons have had. And for us in Nigerian breweries, we've been on this journey with the NFF since 2018, when we first signed a 5-year contract to support the NFF and the teams underneath the NFF. So our sponsorship extends even beyond the Super Falcons. In 2019, as part of our campaign to support the Super Falcons FIFA World Cup tournament at that time, we launched a campaign called We've Got Balls. Asisat was also one of the members and cast and crew of that campaign. And really, the sponsorship for us is beyond just the tournament. It's really on and off the pitch. I remember the moment Asisat spoke about, because I was on the tour bus and I saw this group of kids just running out of the football field to come and welcome them. And for me, that was so inspiring. That was so touching. It was such a touching moment, you know. Welcoming them in our office at Igomo House wasn't just about inspiration for me as a person, but for every member of the Nigerian breweries team. People literally left their desk. I was literally pleading for everyone to go back, that it's not a public holiday and you need to go back to your desk to work. But it was so inspiring. We had such a beautiful moment with them. The photography didn't want to end, and just so happy that we were able to be sponsor of the Super Falcons for this moment.
Okay, now let me get back to you. Asisat. When you were young, I heard you say that you used to play when you were young. So how did your parents react when you told them that you wanted to become a footballer? Because it's not a field that is still very well explored. And some people are still a bit ignorant about the growth and the strength of being a good footballer in this industry. So how did they react?
To be honest with you, I had my own fair share of like this whole having to struggle with your parents and not being supportive, especially because you're a girl child. And they think, I mean, just like the general thought of our culture here in Africa is like, as a girl, you're not supposed to play sport. You're meant to like maybe be home and do other things and all of that, you know. But I think, I'm not going to say I'm stubborn, but at least I know what I want. And luckily for me, I had a sweet grandmother. She's late now, may I so rest in peace, who actually supported me when I was growing up. Each time I go to play with my friends and all that, and my mom wants to scold me or something like that, I just run to her, because in the Yoruba culture, if you're closer to an elderly person, they can't beat you. So I just run to her all the time and all of that. You know, my parents, they weren't really supportive of me.
What age did you start though?
I can't really remember, because like, I didn't learn how to play football. It was more like a natural thing, like playing with friends when you're a kid, going to school during the break time period, playing with boys and all of that, you know. But yeah, with my parents, right now they're my biggest supporter, you know. They're more exposed now to see beyond what they personally know, and they don't want to get stuck in their own thoughts any longer, just because like I was able to make them see something like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's the culture, right? And it's one of the things that some of us are trying to change with our foundations and all of that, you know, to enlighten parents, to also like hold seminars with them, make them understand that there's a way of merging education and sports together as a child. And that way they can actually make it easy for the kid to like decide and make a decision, and also like have a good road path to the future. Okay.
But was there any particular player that influenced you over the years and made you even more determined to pursue this path? If you can name like 3 or 4 of your favorite players and why they are so.
Honestly, growing up, this is one of the things that I think visibility is better now when it comes to women's sport, women's football in general. I didn't have a female idol that I looked up to or something when I was younger, because the games were not like televised, you know. You don't see them on newspapers and news and all that, but I used to follow like the male teams. I support the male sports people more. So I had like Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Zaha, just name it. Most of the time, Barcelona and United players are always my favorite players.
But are you saying even up to now you don't have female versions who are equally as popular, or at least almost as popular as the names that you mentioned? Now that football has become more expansive.
I mean, right now, you're able to like Google people and be like, oh, who has the most goals in so-and-so club and all of that, you know. You have the likes of Perpetua and Kocha. Those are the people that actually parted ways for someone like me to be able to come to Super Falcons and enjoy certain things. You have the goalkeeper, Precious Dede. You have Rita Chikwelu. So many Super Falcons players like that you can actually see. And I was fortunate to play with some of them as well before they retired. So I think now it's better, obviously. I'm on TV right now talking about women's sports. I'm sure there's a kid out there.
In the right direction, that's for sure. Okay, that's good. So let's get back to you, Sandra. Seeing how the entire nation has celebrated, you know, this feat that the footballers have brought to pass, how would you respond to those who believe that sponsorship should be more proactive, not just reactive?
I agree, and in terms of being proactive, it's not in conflict, but it's really about partnerships, and partnerships with the right institutions to support the fields. And it's not only about around the tournaments, but even when they are not playing tournaments. And that's why we're committed to storytelling and visibility platforms that also portray this. Like I mentioned earlier, in 2019, we launched a campaign called We've Got Balls. And that campaign featured a TV commercial which had a predominantly female crew, female cast and crew, including Nollywood professionals as well as entertainment professionals. Tiwa Savage was on that crew as well as Onome Ebi, Rita Chikwelu. And through that campaign, we're able to portray that, you know, there's a lot of determination, you really using that campaign to tell the spirit and the inspiration that female footballers can really bring to the game. So yes, it's not about being reactive. It's not only about when they've won tournaments, but even the journey. At Nigerian Breweries, we see ourselves as the 12th player of any football team that is going on the field. And so that partnership is really deeply woven into every aspect of it.
Okay. You know, like with every success, there's always a backstory, you know, and that comes with the problems, with the challenges, and what have you. So, as a Super Falcon footballer, what were the challenges that you faced whilst preparing for this tournament, both even mentally and physically? And was there any moment that you almost cracked under pressure?
I mean, you always have like moments like this. You have different things going on, and as a player, you have to learn to kind of like manage outside pressure, and also there's something you call like internal pressure as well, which is more like let's talk about maybe like bonuses, for example, or like you know, outfit and things like this, that like the easy things that are internal problems. Also, you have like external pressure, you know, coming from the fans, expectations are high, because I mean, for a team that has won 9 times and we're going for the 10th one, you know, you expect so many people to pay attention to us and like always pressurizing us. Each game we play, you find some people criticizing, you have some people say, at some point they even said I should retire.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was that serious. So, but I understand that with my experience, it also gives me a sense of like, yeah, people are actually watching. A lot of people out there that wants this team to succeed, even though some people are doing it the wrong way. I think I try to pick positives out of every negativity most of the time. That way, they said diamonds are built out of pressure, you know, something like this. Talk to my teammates sometimes, like, you know what, let's forget about all of these problems. Let's focus on like what we are here for. We know what we can do. We know what we are able to do as a team, and we believe in ourselves. And I think that's the most important thing. It's a collective thing. Collective sport as well. So we just speak to ourselves and like we block the noise, no social media issues, no one is talking about whatever is going on in the media and everything. Let the media people do their thing. That's why you have a media person who is in charge of media. As a player, our focus is just to play football and focus on that.
So during that time when you were during the period of the tournament, you guys were not allowed to use your phones?
Oh no, you can use your phone, but just like from my experience, I try to teach the ones around me and like
to just switch out.
If I'm in camp, there are certain applications I don't use.
Yes.
I just stay off them because I know there's a whole lot of negativity that comes from that, and that can actually break me. And I'm in a confined space already, which is like you eat, you go to your room, you can't do so many things there. So I'm like, I'd rather stay off this thing, then after the camp, then I can go up.
But shouldn't that even be automatic? I would have thought that they would ask all of you to do that. So you don't get distracted or get upset or lose your momentum?
I mean, sometimes these things are not distraction. The same way it's a distraction for you is the same way some people would see something that's going to inspire them and give them energy to like go for more, you know. It's just about knowing yourself and, like I said, picking the positives, picking and knowing what to do, what not to do, and what not to give attention to as well is very important.
Okay. Now, speaking of brands, is your brand going to be, is it going to be an all year round campaign, or it will just only happen towards the period of the tournament and then after that, that's it?
It's not only on the tournament. I mean, our sponsorship and partnership with the Super Falcons, like I said, goes on and off the pitch. We started our partnership in 2018 when we signed on with the NFF as official lager brand and official malt drink for the Super Falcons. And all through those years, we've renewed that partnership. This year, with the Mission X campaign that the Super Falcons launched, everything that we've also done in the last few days in celebrating their win is also part of that long-term focus for us. So it's definitely not.
Are you introducing newer things into your relationship with them? Are there new things
at this moment? I would not share. But obviously, yes, there are plans, and some of those plans are also very similar to what we've done in the past. Just ensuring they have the right level of visibility, the right storytelling, ensuring we don't lose traction, you know, from the momentum that we've gained in terms of spotlighting these girls and their win. And it's very important that we keep that momentum going forward.
Now, let's talk facts. Asisat, the Super Eagles often receive more attention, better pay, better and stronger backing. But the truth is that you guys have done much better than them. So why do you think this persists despite your superior track record?
Honestly, I think I would say that's like more of a global problem, you know, where like people believe our male counterparts, they believe they should get more and more another time. But I totally disagree, because I feel like, I mean, Super Falcons, for example, have won more trophies, brought more glory to the nation compared to the Super Eagles. They've done great things as well, but not compared to what the Super Falcons have done. You know, I just think this things has to do with sponsorships as well. You know, when you merge the male and female team together, it's somehow kind of like difficult, because when you look at the media, people follow more of the male teams than the women's team. So automatically I just believe that, oh, the male teams, they bring more attention, they bring more this, more that to us, so we can really give you guys the same thing as we're giving to the
but do you think that the media can change that narrative?
I believe the media can
give you
change.
the deserving respect that you have earned.
Honestly, I believe the media can change a lot of things. Like right now, I know while we're talking there, I was just going to urge us to like maybe focus more on, like, not saying they should not focus on the Super Eagles as well, but like if you can do more things with the Super Falcons, even if it's going to be like individually with players and all of that, this is going to go a long way, you know. These partnerships are very important, because if this visibility is there, then it makes every other thing easy. You're going to have more brands coming on board to support the Super Falcons. And right now, after winning 10 trophies, I mean, everyone wants to be associated with success. No, let's be honest about this. If we can like milk the moment, talk to brands and everything, you have a whole lot of brands that want to also be out there and stay with a winning team. So like, why not take that step further?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, and there's also the issue of mental health when it comes to your well-being. You know, so do you think that at some stage, Sandra, do you think at some stage that you guys can veer into that aspect? You know, in terms of strategy about their wellness, do you think it's something that you can do as part of your corporate social responsibility?
Absolutely. I think sponsorship should go beyond winning championships. It should also be about advocacy. And giving them that hero's welcome in Lagos was something that was very important to us, you know, just to boost their morale. Because to your point on mental health awareness, I mean, seeing that Nigerians really came out, trooping out, the supporters club, I saw women on the streets just cheering them on. And so for us, that advocacy part was very, very important. So it wasn't just a visit to our office, and that's why we also did the motto parade, you know, just to show Nigerians that these are your girls and they've come back home to show the trophy to you. And so a very big part of our strategy.
Okay. Anyway, we're going on a break and then we'll be right back. So see you, go grab a cup of tea as I always say, see you right back on Perspectives. Okay, welcome back to Perspectives. Let's get back to where we were. So Asisat, I want to ask you, like with every project that you do or that is done generally, there's usually the growing process, the beginning process, and then, you know, sometimes you face obstacles and you overcome them and what have you. So with your relationship with NFF, what were the challenges that you have and where are you guys at now?
I mean, like I said, the sport has been growing over the years, and also like as players, we're also kind of like trying to improve, and we want the best for ourselves, best environment. I mean, we had the issues, obviously. We're talking about like maybe, for example, the ones we used to have before, which is still like almost the same thing every time. It's like the bonuses, for example, you know, as a player, you also want to know that while you're out there hustling and struggling, you're getting what you deserve on time, and, you know, you have the assurance that, oh, after the game, I have so and so things waiting for me and all that. I mean, all of that happened, but to be honest with you, this camp was quite different, and everything was resolved even before the next game. We knew, okay, this was going to happen, that was going to happen, you know. All of those things happened. There was no disappointment. I mean, they almost happened, but like it was taken care of like almost immediately, which we didn't used to have before. Like, I remember one time, players had to like go to the state house in Abuja to like protest and ask for money and all of that. You know, all of these things. Yeah, all of these things have changed over the years now, which is like really good, great improvement from the NFF side and from their part. I think allowances are being sorted. I mean, obviously there's always like something to improve on. I mean, we're not like there yet, but like we're getting closer, and I think with time we're gonna get there. Okay, but if you could redesign women's football from the grassroots up, what would be your top 3 changes? My top 3 changes would be, I think first thing I would say, accessibility. Like infrastructural-wise, you want to have enough pitches in the local areas so kids can actually go there to play soccer. And also, I would say maybe visibility. Also, I think it's very important when you give these kids opportunity to like be out there. They have a place to like put their talent, and also like people watching them at home, away, and all of these things. And I would also love to touch on like coaching. Coaches having like the right tactical. How do I put it? Because as a kid, if you're growing up and you grow up with a coach that is not so sound or not so technically sound, you can't learn these things at certain age again. You just get stuck there, and it's just going to be so hard for you to like adjust. And modern day football is different, you know. Things are changed every day. How is it different from? I'm not a football whatever, but I mean, I'm just curious. How is the football of today different from the past? I mean, it's the same way where you have like rules at your place of work. For example, you're not going to tell me the rules you've worked with for the last 5 years is still the same things you're working with right now. Like things changes, things improve. The same way we want to improve, the same way the game is also evolving. You know. Okay. Yeah. So like, I thought you're going to talk about maybe some physical changes in the way the game is played. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about physical changes. As a player, you know, 10 years ago, there are certain things you can eat, you're going to be fine. But right now, you can't have those type of foods because foods are being processed differently now. Okay. So you have to watch these things and then know when to sleep, when to eat, and all of this is very important. This is like more of the backstory when it comes to the game. This is what the fans don't know. This is what we have to take care of as professional players. You know, I'm not going to play a game now and just take any other thing and drink. I know I have to go with my protein first. To recover, I have to take carbs first to recover from what I just lost on the pitch and all of these things. You know? Yeah. So it's just a whole lot of things like that. Okay. Okay. So, let me ask you, Sandra, from a sponsor's lens, what stood you out with the camaraderie between the Super Falcons? What their teamwork and emotional connection? How did that come across to you? I saw a team that looked out for each other. I remember when we picked them up from
Abuja and the drive to the plane ride to Lagos, they looked out for each other. I would always see the captain looking around. If any member of the team wasn't complete, she wouldn't move yet. Even when it was time to take pictures, she would always look around to check that everyone was there. In our office, somebody went to use the restroom, and it was time to proceed to the boardroom. And I remember Rashida saying, Chiamaka was in there, and then we had to wait for her. And for me, that was the biggest thing, that this team does look out for each other, and that's I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, because the connection, because this connection, I'm sure, to a certain extent, would even reflect in your performance.
Yeah, I mean, it's a collective sport, and we all have to be on the same page to achieve our goal. You know, we have to look out for each other, because you have 11 players playing on the pitch. If one person is down, then the whole team suffers for it. So you try to learn these things as well, but you don't wait until you get on the pitch before you do that. You have to start on your daily life, discipline, looking out for each other, even while on the table when we're eating and all that. You know, this person is missing, that person is missing, and all that.
I've never looked at it like that, but it's actually true. If there's no connection, it would reflect to show that
I mean, that's why it's called a team sport. It's not like an individual sport.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, you're a role model. What will you tell a 10-year-old girl, for instance, who lives in Jos or Aba, about this sport, and who dreams of being the next Super Falcon? How would you tell her to prepare? What age should you start really, if that's the path that you want to tow? At what age should you really start this journey in terms of preparation?
The honest truth is, I think a 10-year-old girl, for example, doesn't know, wouldn't wake up and say, I'm going to be a professional soccer player tomorrow. You know, at that age, I feel like you're playing for fun because you like playing the sport, you're playing it. But if you're at that age and you want to play the game, you have to be disciplined, you know. You have to do the right things. You have to listen as well to your parents. Obviously, you're 10, you don't know what to do. And also, it's as a 10-year-old girl, the work is more on the parents. You know, if the parents are exposed and they understand this journey, it's easier for the kids to play sports as well. Because as a 10-year-old, I'm not going to drive myself to the park to play football. You know, I need my parents to support me, to help me do that. You know, that's very important as well. So as a 10-year-old, it's more of educating the parents, the guardian, the teachers in school, you know, to help these kids to go through the right path. And then, you know, that way it's easier for the kid to be like, yeah, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to stay. Because imagine you have a coach who doesn't respect you, for example, or who doesn't even like a girl playing sports. You know, and maybe you
Can you have a coach that wouldn't like girls playing sports?
Oh, I mean, you don't have a women's coach. A coach is a coach.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That I would have thought that sports is being encouraged for women and men.
I mean, but we know that this culture thing in Africa is different. So you still have some people.
You think there's still some coaches who actually disapprove of female footballers?
I mean, it's preference. You know, sometimes it's preference. There are some people who you will never be able to change their minds when it comes to women playing sports. They're just stuck in their thoughts. They're like, this is what I know, this is what I want to see.
I wouldn't have thought that a coach in that profession would even still be that archaic in his or her preference. But what about football academies? Do you think we have enough of them in Nigeria? And what's your take on the quality of on their quality?
Personally, I think I'm glad you brought this up, because a few years ago I sat down with my team, and then we were like, and then I told them, I said, the things that I didn't have access to while I was growing up, I want to be able to provide these things for the younger generation, for them to enjoy it. I currently have a football academy.
Oh, that's good.
Which supports only the girl child. I'm not being biased, but I just feel like the male teams, there's so many male soccer teams in Lagos. Just anywhere you go, you have it. But you can't say the same for the women's side. 7-8 years ago, when I go to my club abroad and I come back, I try to organize competition for the girls, because I know there are not so many competitions for them to play. Some girls, they train, but if you train and you don't get to compete with other people, then it's just training for nothing at the end of the day. Then you don't have places to you don't have people to see the talent you have. So when I come back from club side, I organize these competitions just for fun, for them to play, have fun, win prizes and all of that, you know? And then after a couple of years, after a couple of editions, I sat down with my team, I said, okay, I want to be able to take care of 50 girls in a year calendar. Find the right talent, filter them at the end of the year, bring in new ones again, help them groom their talent and like take them to the next level, which I think is very important right now. Right now it's different. You have so many other people who are now interested in women's sport and women's football. Now that there's so many clubs around Lagos right now, you know. So I have my own brand, and I think it's also different now.
Can you, if your brand was approached, can you work something out with the government and actually open a proper football academy where, you know, they are also educated at the same time as being taught how to play the game? Just like I have players abroad who go to university but also play the game themselves. Yeah. So can you create something like that here in Nigeria? Well,
absolutely. Like, this is one of the things I tell my players at my club, basically, my academy. I'm preaching football and education because I don't want them getting stuck with just sports. I want them to understand that you can play sport and still go to school. You don't have to say, because the old things people used to say is like, oh, I'm a professional, I'm a player, I be footballer. That's the thing we used to say, I be footballer. What do you do? I be footballer, you know? And then you don't know, before you close your eyes and open it, the years goes by. And then after soccer, what do you do? Yes. You know, what do you do? What do you want to do in the future? You can't play football forever. You know, it's a timely thing, especially for women as well. So right now in my academy, I make sure every kid there, they're educated, they're going to schools. We're partnering with teams abroad. I have some players already who got scholarship recently. They're going to be studying in the States and all of that. You know, these things are things I preach in my academy. I have 2 times, I think, yearly seminars with parents, educating them, asking them what they think about the child, how is the studies about, what is going on there and all of that. So that way we know the parents are educated and they are happy with the progress of the child. If there's the need for an extra step to be taken on certain kids, we make sure we follow that every year and improve on something like that.
Oh, that's good to hear. But let me ask you now, Sandra, you know, your brand has now been closely affiliated with the Super Falcons, which is good. But if you had to speak out there to other corporations and companies, what would you say to them to encourage them to invest like you have done with the footballers?
I would say the journey for us has been very rewarding, and I would call on more partnership with the footballers. And it's not just at the national level. Like Asisat put it so well, the grassroots is also very critical, and that's the brilliant work she's doing to help those young ones grow into that national level. At Nigerian Breweries, we also partner with the NPFL match day sponsorships and activations, where we drive footfall for football fans to go and watch these NPFL matches, because that's where it really starts from, at the grassroots. And part of what we do there is to ensure people get to know that the matches are being played. We provide entertainment, provide replica jerseys, as well as gifts and cash to players that come tops within within those football clubs. And it's very important, really, to look at the grassroots and not just focus on the national picture.
Okay, that's good. We have a brief video that we want to play now to show our audience, to further, you know, showcase the feat of the Super Falcons.
Straight from the Moroccan capital, Rabat, to Abuja, Nigeria's Super Falcons return to the capital today, carrying not just the trophy, but the nation's pride. Arriving at 16:35 p.m. local time to cheers and bouquets of flowers, the team was welcomed by First Lady Oluremi Tinubu and joined by the wife of the Vice President, Nanashi Tima, setting the stage for a grand reception at the presidential villa. And then, the nation's thanks delivered by the president himself. President Tinubu, who had followed the team's campaign closely, confessed he almost couldn't bear to watch the finals.
Honestly, I didn't want to watch the match. I didn't want high blood pressure. But people came in and turned my TV on to that channel. When it was 2-0, I got very offended and restless. But I was there still watching the indomitable spirit of resilience, determination, and courage. And after that penalty, and I saw it 2-1, my spirit was lifted, and I believe that of the nation.
In a rousing speech, the president said the Falcons' win was more than a sporting triumph, as it was a moment of national renewal.
You have inspired millions, especially young girls, who now see the proof that their dreams are valid and achievable. You inspired me too.
Then came the announcement of the awards that brought the world to its feet.
On behalf of the grateful nation, I hereby conferred on the players the 11-man technical team with national honor of officer of Niger. Additionally, I hereby direct the allocation of 3-bedroom apartments to each of the players and technical crew in our Renew Hope estate. In addition, there is a cash award of the Naira equivalent of $100,000 each to the 24 players. And the equivalent of $50,000 to the 11-man technical team.
The state governors, represented by the governors of Kwara, Kaduna, and Imo states at the event, also announced the separate 10 million naira reward to each player and coach. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu praised the team for showing resilience.
You played with passion, confidence, and an unshakable belief in yourselves that it is not over until it is over.
The Falcons had dubbed their campaign mission X, and they delivered. Down 2-0 at halftime, they produced one of the most stunning comebacks in WAFCON history. Esther Okoronkwo's penalties packed the turnaround, followed by goals from Folamide Ijamilusi and Jennifer Echegini, sealing a 3-2 win.
This 10th title is for you, Mr. President. It is for Nigerians, it is for Super Falcons, and it is for every young child who believes and dreams to be on this stage someday. But Your Excellency, we are not content to rest on our laurels. Our vision is bold. We want to become the best women's football team in the world. We dreamed of standing at the top of the global stage, not just as competitors, but as champions. But to achieve this, we humbly seek the continued and enhanced support of the Nigerian Football Federation, Sport Ministry, and the federal government. With your partnership, we can have world-class training facilities, and we'll be able to prepare in the best way possible and create a pathway for the next generation of Super Falcons to soar even higher.
Nigeria's 10th WAFCON title extends their dominance on the continent and preserves a perfect record in finals. Adesoa Omoran, Arise News.
That was beautiful. Now my papa be this, so we no get another one. Now my papa be this, so that was actually quite moving to me. So if you could speak directly to the president or NFF president right now, what would you say to him in one sentence? Any of the two?
Any of the two?
Yes.
I think I would say, like, this should serve as a wake-up call for them to put more effort when it comes to women's football, and also endeavor to use this opportunity to speak to brands to encourage them to build more facilities, because infrastructural-wise, I think we're still behind. And if you don't have these things, then it's hard to improve or get to the next level. And to get to the next level, we have to stay committed to ourselves, from players and also like the federations and the government as well.
I like what Rashida said. Is it true that you are aspiring to be one of the best teams in the world?
I mean, of course, I wake up every day, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock sometimes, get in the lab. I'm not doing all of that just to be an African champion, you know. We want to take this to the world level. We want to improve it 10 times in Africa. I don't think that can be broken even in a decade. Exactly. So it's like you want to take that next level. You want to go to top tournaments and like don't just be going there to make up teams to participate at that tournament. You know, you want to be there to compete and be seen as one of the. If you're the best in Africa and you go to the World Tournament or the Olympics, then you want to also be ranked high there.
Yes. But what is a day in your life like? I mean, look, you look so trim, so fit, and I know there must be a lot of discipline involved in maintaining your stamina and your strength and your skill. So, what is a day in your life like?
What
time? I heard you say you wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean,
naturally. Is that normal?
For me.
Okay.
What works for me might not work for other people.
Okay, so just put us through.
For me, I'm a Muslim as well, so I pray. So naturally, I'm like up 5 a.m. After praying, if it's not my day off, get in the shower, have my bath, go to work, have breakfast, obviously, and then go to work, come back home, study a little bit for a couple of hours. I have like 2 hours set aside a day, which is like compulsory for me to study and all of that. And then maybe watch a movie or something like that, or watch some games back again. I have my technical meetings as well with my coaches, or because I also have like personal guys who work for me, who take my videos and like correct me and know what to do and what to improve on as well. And in the evening hours, if I have the time, or if I didn't do so much in the morning hours, get in the gym.
Okay,
again,
I thought, well, so when you get to the gym, so you don't, because you know how you see footballers train on the field. You don't do any of those.
Yeah, we do that. That's what I'm saying, like during the morning sessions.
Oh, okay, you do that in the morning sessions,
yeah.
okay.
So sometimes I do the gym work in the afternoon.
Okay, you alternate.
Yeah, you turn sometimes, yeah.
Okay. So what do you, let me ask you, Sandra, what do you think the Super Falcons victory says about the power of Nigerian women today in sport and beyond?
I think it proves that Nigerian women can do anything that they put their hearts to. It proves that with the right level of support that we can really rise to global standards and the global stage to make the country proud. And they've demonstrated this 10 times. And even outside of WAFCON, if you also track their journey in the World Cup as well as in the Olympics, they've also made us proud in terms of how far they've been able to go in those tournaments. So it definitely shows that Nigerian women are resilient, and with the right level of support, they can really bring true glory to the country.
Okay, but do you feel that that Nigerian women not earning as much in football as much as the men transcends to other sectors in the economy as well? Absolutely,
it's outside of football, even outside of every industry has those moments. And I think the narrative about equal opportunities between men and female is also changing as media outlets continue to portray this story and ensure that we support women, women's excellence generally. So it's not just a gender divide, it needs to be about rewarding excellence at the right level that it deserves.
Okay. So are you going to work, let me ask you, are you going to work more with fans to build a stronger community-based engagement around the Super Falcons?
I think the fans are like a big part of the game. They're like the 12th player for us, because each time we play, we hear their voices, even though sometimes it's so loud in the stadium, you can't really hear each other, but we hear the noise, we hear the shout. We even hear them sometimes when they sing, I say, give us one goal. When the first time we were 2 goals down, they were saying all of that. We hear them, and I think they're a very big part of the team, of any community. The supporters are like big part of it, So for us, I think we want to do more things, more activations with the fans, more interactions with them to get to know the players, and also which I think is more of the media part as well. But I think this would be a great thing to happen, We want to build a community and also improve and knowing the people that you support, and knowing also that the players actually see it and they actually enjoy it as well, and we appreciate them.
I want to ask something. You know how when you're playing? I mean, I only enjoy football when it's Nigeria playing. I'm the typical backbencher when it comes to sports. But you know how when you're playing against a team and you now have equal scores, and then one person is supposed to now do the penalty kick, what kind of pressure does it feel like? Because, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know whether you've had to do that before. What kind of intense pressure does it feel? How does it emotionally weigh on you?
I mean,
especially when you miss.
Oof.
Because I've always wondered that kind of pressure must be quite difficult to carry.
I mean, it's a huge one. It's like you have the whole nation, you're carrying the whole nation on your back. You know, going out there, you have a lot of things you're thinking about. And that's why it's not something everyone can take. It takes people who have that courage to step up. That's why before those type of PKs, the coach will ask again. Because you can be a good PK taker, but that moment, you can become bad because of the pressure, the noise, the thought of, oh, if I lose,
especially if that one game, one goal is going to make the huge difference between losing and winning.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's life. Football is life. It's what you go through.
Your coaches actually have to select the people that can actually carry that burden. It's not just any player that you put there, is it?
Yeah, sometimes it's about what that player feels that moment. A regular really? PK taker might not be able to take that PK at that moment.
And why? Why not though? Why?
Because maybe the pressure is just when the team is leading 4-0 and you have a PK, just anybody can go there and shoot the ball. Like oh, even if you lose it, you don't have anything to lose. You're already 4 goals up. But like 0-0 final, score, we win, or lose, we go home. You know, that's a different type of pressure entirely. But at that moment for me, I don't overthink things. I don't think about it too much. I just go out there, find a spot, and then just put it there. So it's a...
But have you been in that situation several times?
Yeah. In fact, I've lost one. I lost one in the game against South Africa 2018.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I lost
How
my
did you
PK.
feel when that happened?
I mean, it feels like your soul is leaving your body.
So your teammates now running around you
to encourage you and like, you know, move on and like, okay, you still have opportunity, and sometimes if you're not lucky, you don't have another opportunity.
Okay, what are the most dreaded mistakes that you can make in football?
I mean, as a defender, imagine scoring an own goal in the final.
I was just going to ask about own goal. I was just going to ask about... Isn't that what happened with the Argentinian... They call it the hand of God or something. Maradona.
That's different.
Okay,
and he used the hand to score the goal. Okay. That was different, yeah.
But there have been teams that have lost because...
someone missed the PK. Someone has to miss. That's if nobody loses the PKs, you don't find a winner.
So that home goal one is one of the most
Yeah, I mean, no player wants to. I mean, I'm not dressing up this morning.
How does that usually happen? Is it that when you just kick it in for the goal, you have to catch it? But unfortunately,
it could also be like a deflection. It could also be a misplaced pass. It could be anything, you know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But that's good. So when you look at teams like US or England support their women's programs, what do you think Nigerians could do more for their players?
Like I said earlier, I think taking it all the way to the grassroots level and building from scratch is very important, because then it makes the future easy for these kids as well. And also like focusing on brand visibility. I read something the other day when someone was like, it's more fruitful for her to play for England than play for Nigeria, you know. To each his own. For some of us, we'll always be here to struggle and live everything out. Nigeria has given me a lot, for example, as a player. And I think there are a whole lot of players out there that I grew up with that could have also been in this position, but because they couldn't get that opportunity, you know, they're not fortunate to be about. I got lucky doesn't mean if things don't change, then we'll continue to have wasted talent. You know, that could be good for our great nation. We're celebrating this today. I mean, maybe we could have passed 10 long time ago, because if things are done the right way, maybe things would have been different and all of that.
So let's hope that the NFF is listening to this, and we should really improve, because especially anything that has to do with raw talent, if you can harness it it's definitely better for everybody at the end of the day.
Yeah, raw talent. I also feel like we need like a proper pitch where when you go to camp, you know,
we need more academies. We need more proper, stronger academies.
I also like to talk about the academies as well. You need support from brands as well, like Nigerian breweries, for example. Now, I'm taking this opportunity to say, please, I have an academy.
So more brands.
I have an academy. I have a foundation. I would love to partner with you guys, and it's going to be amazing for me as well, my girls.
Okay. You see, 1 hour has flown by. Thank you so much for being with me here on Perspectives today. Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you so much, Asisat.
Thank you
for the deep insight that you have given me. This is the longest I've discussed football. Oh, really? And you know, that's why I wore green now to match your hair. Matchy. So thank you so much for being with us here. And congratulations once again, and more grease to your elbows. And we will pray that you will continue to soar even into greater heights. Okay, so to our players, thank you for showing us what excellence looks like under pressure. To our sponsor, thank you for standing behind the greatness, and we hope you will keep standing beside it when the spotlight fades. And to every Nigerian watching, this isn't just about football. This is about equity, visibility, and what it truly means to support our heroes, even when no one is watching. And as I keep saying, life is a learning curve. So let's not let this be a moment. Let's make it a movement. That's all we have time for today. You've been watching Perspectives here on Arise News with me, Ruth Osime. By the special grace of God, we shall be back together same time next week for another episode of Perspectives. Until then, do stay well and have a good week. Goodbye.